Alright guys, today I'm over a storage facility. One of my longtime customers, he just picked up this brand new Artic Fox, and the toilet that came with it's just not going to work with him. So we're going to try to upgrade his toilet to a better toilet. And this is a method I like to use. So let's take a look at what's going on. Alright, so let's see what the toilet is. Now this got the cool flip downstairs. Like I said, I think this thing's brand new. He had just contacted me. He's trying to get out of town. Let's see what's going on. So let's like we got a Thetford. All right, so we have a Thetford Style II high. I guess he's tried using it. It's just not wide enough because it's a short one. He wants a residential style one. He chose a Dometic 320 residential style. Usually the biggest problem with toilets, even though I already have a video about changing a toilet out, it was a different style anyways, is that the water connection is always at a different location. These are always hard plumbed. So I always just end up doing a different setup, and I think that's the biggest key to do on this. Because I will likely cut this right there. We'll put a push-on shut-off valve with a braided hose on it that you'd use in a house. That way you can reposition this thing wherever you want. If the toilet leaks or has a problem, which is not uncommon for toilets to leak and then overflow out the bowl and make a big mess, you can actually shut off. There's a shut-off valve to turn off the water. All right, let's get this toilet out. Now, of course, before we disconnect the toilet, let's go ahead and get all the water pressure out of the system. All right. Don't want to cause a big mess if we don't have to. Yeah, this thing's brand new. He just picked up this trailer and look, it still has all the badging on it. Hopefully the toilet fits. Now, this thing's brand new. I think it sort of goes without saying. It's really nice to work on a brand new toilet because I don't have to worry about anything gross on it. This one's going to be pretty straightforward. There's just going to be the two nuts under the cap right there. They're 1/2 inch. Let's see. Yeah, 1/2 inch. Alright, so that's one. That's two. Alright, that was simple. I just have to disconnect that water line. Now, usually I can get it by hand. Let me just straighten the pressure one more time just to make sure. Alright, I can't get it by hand. That's why I have tools, I guess. There's a lot of pressure on it, pushing up on it. That's why it's not nice to have it hard plumbed like this. Well, we got rid of most of the pressure there. So now I can pop this thing off. Now this is a style light, so that is china or porcelain. Let me get this thing out of the way. Alright, so I'll just clean up my little bit of mess right there. Alright, so we'll leave that right there so we can look right straight down into the holding tank. That's how brand new it is. It's clean as can be. I'm not going to eat out of it, but very clean. That is nice. Alright, so this might be a very quick video that nobody will see because it may not fit. So I'm going to put a gravity at 320 in. It's supposed to be a residential style. Alright, so that's its selling point, was right there. Elongated seat and ceramic bowl for comfort and hygiene. Wow. Let's get this thing opened up. Alright. Stop it. Well, I would say that's elongated. Can you guys see that okay? That's going to be a two-hander, so I'm going to have to put you guys down. Alright, let's go see how this works. Go ahead and put this down right here. And I think this is gonna fit. It will block the doorway a little bit, but the customer said he didn't care about that because he wants to be able to use the toilet. It won't make much sense if he can't use it. And so, if I were to back this up to about where it's supposed to be, which is right about there, you can see that wouldn't make it. I'd have to put a lot of tension on that PEX tubing right there. That's that 1/2-inch PEX. I mean, it would work, but it's going to always be pushing on here. And these water valves are just plastic, and I've seen these fail way too many times. So I'm going to go ahead and replumb this so we don't have that issue. But first things first, let's get the right bolts put on. It's pretty straightforward instructions right here, and we have to put a seal on the bottom. All right, so the seal's already on it. There's the toilet information right there for you. 320 is white. So let's just compare this real fast. That base is 9.5 inches in diameter. That's a pretty good base that way. And almost 10.25 that way. So that should be a little bit better. Let's go look at the other one. So this Thetford here, that base is about 8 inches in diameter. And about the same that way. So maybe an inch wider on the Dometic. But an inch goes a long ways into hiding previous holes or problems or flooring issues. And also gives you a lot better stability. Let me switch out those bolts. I mean, they gave them to me, I might as well. Now this flange right here looks like if we had to, we could undo these bolts and we could twist it if we really need to in order for it to not hit the walls, but we'll see how this fits in first. Dang, lucky. It's got a fender washer right there. And then the nut. I won't lie to you, we're pretty close against the wall right there. Toilet seat does go all the way back though, that's a good point. Oh, this doesn't have a soft close lid on it either. But the nice thing is this is residential, so you could actually upgrade this to a soft close. But I think if I get this situated and bolt it down, we should be good. Let me go ahead and bolt it down. Now what I usually find is useful, is we have to compress that foam seal that's underneath. You actually just put your body weight on it. You can get most of these nuts almost all the way down. Rock it to one side, and then go to the other side. Kind of push it that way. And then just wiggle it. And then you should be able to tighten it up at that point. Looks like they're 7/16, not 1/2 inch like Thetford. This right here is porcelain, but this down here is plastic. So that's nice. You don't have to worry about breaking porcelain when you're tightening those up. Tighten up the other one again. Let me do the all-important wiggle test. All right, we're not wiggling. All right, so we got those bolts nice and tight. Right there. And right there. And so the seat wiggles a little bit. The bowl feels pretty good. Last thing we need to do is hook up the water right there. So this is what we're going to do. Like I said, I don't like to put that much strain on that, and rather than trying to hard plumb this with about another, maybe we could move this down. I guess theoretically in this one, if we really needed to, we could cut right there. There's a flare-up fitting, and then it should honestly, we'll just cut that down and we could do that. But this is what I like to do. Your setup might not be this easy, and that plumbing might be really, really tight or too short. So this is what I like to do. I found it to be a lot easier. If you were to go to your local big box store, you can find a already made up braided hose with a shutoff valve right there that goes to 1/2-inch PEX already. Just make sure when you get it, take care of what you're doing, because they make these for toilets too. And even though I know this is a toilet, this has a 1/2-inch thread hookups. If you were to grab a toilet one, which looks very, very similar, this has a 7/8, and it will not fit. They look almost identical if you look at it, but when you go to put this one on, it doesn't tighten up. It's because it's too big, and then you have to make another run back. So don't get the 7/8 one. Make sure you get the 1/2-inch one. Let me go ahead and thread this on real fast. It's even nice too because it's got those the tabs on the nut, so you don't even really need a tool to put it on. Alright, so that's tightened up. Like I said, it's got a shut-off valve right here. That would be parallel. When it's parallel, it's on. When it's perpendicular, it's off. So now in the future, if this water valve breaks or the toilet has problems, you can just turn off the toilet. You can still use your trailer. You're not stuck without water pressure. And then with a nice flexible fitting like that, we're not going to be putting too much downward pressure on anything. So I'm just going to, looks like right about there looks pretty good. So let me go ahead and cut that. Right about there. And this is a shark bite style, so you just push on. Kind of have to do that one or two-handed, so I had to put you guys down for a second. Of course, lift up on it, make sure that you got it on there good. And then, not that I've ever done it, I'm going to turn off the water pressure and see if it holds pressure. So let's go ahead and turn the water pump on. Hopefully, yeah, we got water. Okay, water pump. Oh, it's the only one that's not on. All right. So if I didn't get that on all the way, it should have been shot off now. I just turned that on. All right. And put the pedal down. Hey, look at that. It's flushing. All right, well, I went through all the instructions right here. All the installation instructions are right there. We put the seal on, we bolted it down, and look at that. It says if it ruptures right there because it froze, that's not on them. And it's very common for me to see something like that, which is again why I like to put that shutoff valve there, so that if that does have an issue, start leaking, you can turn off the flow of water. Also, I've seen sometimes this pedal gets stuck, and so it keeps letting water fill up really slowly. You don't even realize it until it starts to overflow. So that's another way of having that shut-off valve is nice. So I won't use this, but it is important for me to sit down on it. I have to do a wiggle test sitting on it to make sure that obviously it's not loose. The last thing I'm going to do, well, there's two last things I'm going to do. Check these bolts one more time. You might notice I'm using a little 1/4-inch wrench or ratchet so I don't put too much heft on it. Got my special pretty caps on there. Push those down. All they do is push down. Alright, so then this job is actually done, but I will put the special sanitary bag back on there. Now, of course, some of you guys might be asking, well, what's the difference in these toilets, right? Let's take a look at the measurements. So the new Dometic 320 residential style seat is going to be 14 inches wide and I guess it's about 17 inches long. So the Thetford Style Plus non-residential, 14.5 wide, so I think about the same width, but only 16 inches long. So I guess it doesn't seem like much, 1 inch, but sure feels like a better amount. Maybe because it's not as round, it's more elongated. So I guess that's what's going to be the difference on it. It's elongated. Do one final test here. Now, even though it sounds wrong, I still do like to let that pedal, I don't know if you saw that, pop up. I don't like to let it up with my foot like that. I know it seems right to let it up slowly, but sometimes that little flapper down there doesn't get closed all the way if you let it up slowly. So I like to just let it pop up on its own. All right, that's the universal do not use toilet. I'll let the owner use the toilet. So I said that's pretty much it, guys. That was ridiculously simple and easy, especially because I didn't have to worry about what the freshwater plumbing, matching anything up. Brand new toilet, so it's a very easy swap out. Toilets can be difficult, especially if they're older and the mounting flange bolts are all corroded and you can't get them off without cutting them off, or the flange itself is kind of rotten. You have to modify that. So I did luck out on this one. This was a pretty easy job. So the good news is that this is still just going to be a basic toilet installation. That's how all of them are going to end up being. This one doesn't have a sprayer. He didn't request a sprayer, so we didn't put a sprayer on there. He just wanted a residential style that was wider. And that was it. Okay. Brand new 21 Northwood Artic Fox, 25 foot. So there was a quick little swap out of a Thetford Style II to a Dometic 320 residential elongated toilet bowl. You can go to your hardware store, pick up a soft closed toilet lid and put it on those. And like I said, you don't have to put that valve on. I just found it to be so much easier and makes life a lot better for everybody involved. All right, thanks a lot for watching. What are you guys waiting for? This isn't my coach. It's in a storage facility. I can't put the slide out. I'm not going to just show my customers' RV. I just can't walk you through somebody else's RV like that. But maybe one day we'll be able to take a look at this. It was really nice from what I saw. And of course, Artic Fox seems to be a pretty good product. Sorry. All right, guys, I know what you're saying. A little less roof inspections and actually let's fix some RVs. Now, what I will tell you is I am working very, very hard. I am doing a lot of repairs on RVs. I just don't have time to film everything I do. I just put together a pretty big solar package with an inverter setup. That would have been a great video. Didn't have time to record it. I did a suspension upgrade on the trailer to the mower ride wet bolts and shackles with a cool cross member. Didn't have time. Just did a big old carefree slide out topper repair. Didn't have time to record. So I hear what you're saying, and I do want to record more for you guys, but unfortunately I am an RV tech first. This is what I do. So with that being said, your setup might not be this easy. The good news is that this will be the standard. The good news is this is still a basic. course, some of you might be asking,